Welcome to another episode of Babies from Beyond. And this week we're talking about the activation of the red light codes for today's children. We talked in a previous episode about the green light activation, and this time it's about red light. So many of today's children carry all of these light codes. Some carry more than others. Some carry one or two of the light codes, depending on their own purpose and their own reason for coming to the earth at this time. So today I wanted to lean in a little more into the red light codes. And when I say red, I mean it's the frequency of the code. And even light code, it's about energy, if that's something easier for you to understand. Instead of light code, which may sound a little woo-woo or a little too galactic and spacey, just think of it as energy. Think of it as healing energy, like laser beams of energy that, when directed with intention and purpose and for the highest good and with love, can bring about profound healing and profound changes, not only within the physical body, but also within the energy field of places, spaces, Mother Nature, other people, you, other children, all of these things. So when it comes to the red light codes, this is all about the base chakra. It's all about survival. And babies and children, at least in my experience, they're born with quite a strong base chakra. They are all about survival, right? They cry, they eat, they poo, they sleep, all of these things that are essential for their body's physical survival here on the earth. So with this open and quite active base chakra, the red light code activations are already there, they're already present, and they emanate from this space, from this guttural, primal, instinctual space of survival, and that commitment and that longing and that planning and that execution of finally being here on the earth after what for many has often been a very long and often challenging journey throughout conception, pregnancy and birth for many of these children. So those children who carry the light codes that are red in frequency and resonance are about helping to spread stability and also steadiness in the world. So when a base chakra or that energy is balanced, it is steady, it feels safe in the world, it can trust, it has all its needs met, it is calm, it's peaceful, probably the biggest thing is safety. And for today's children, or for any child in any generation, trust, safety, also trust, because I just mentioned that, so I feel like it wants to come through. But trust is a hugely important, there it goes again. I keep saying trust, so let's focusing on trust. Acknowledging trust and the trust that babies and children need here on earth. Trust in their caregivers, trust in the world, trust in themselves. And children are born, actually that's what's wanting to come through. Children are born with this trust. And it's only through changes in the world or experiences that break this trust. Because generally children are very trusting, especially from birth. But depending on what they bring with past life experiences, soul imprints, karma, all of these things, it can jeopardize their sense of trust in the world. Safety is a different energy to trust. Safety is something that needs to be created here for these children. They don't just automatically feel safe, and trust doesn't automatically lead to safety, as we all know. And so safety for these children is, I guess, a shadow side of, or can be a shadow side of the base chakra when it's not balanced or not intact, or even still developing, like for all children. When their base chakra, yes, it's there and it's active and there's a lot of energy, but it's also still developing and continues to grow. Our base chakra continues to develop and shift and change and move throughout our entire lives. even as adults. And so this red frequency, when used in a way that is beneficial and stabilizing and steady, can really help to support this nurturing of safety in the world and helping children to come safe, to feel safe here. Because so many children, they struggle to even conceive because of this feeling of not being safe. You know, they're safe as a soul, they're safe in spirit, they're safe with their soul family and guides between lives. But when a child decides to incarnate, or a soul decides to incarnate on the earth, it's a very different story. They can't create that safety on the earth before they arrive. There's certain things that we can do to support their feeling of safety in advance around welcoming them, inviting them, creating a space for them in your home, soon to be their home, schedule. All of these things can be helpful, but true safety is something that needs to be learned here on the earth. And the majority of children, and actually the majority of humans, will experience struggle with safety at different times in their lives. So going back to this red light code and the activation of that, it comes through safety and with safety. So this can mean for your own child, especially your baby, how can you bring the color red into their life? Can you wear the color red yourself? Can you have a red crystal or a red candle or red bedding or red decor near these children? And even as I'm sharing this, I can sense that many of you are like, wow, red is a really bold color. It's a color that can be quite intense. It can feel the opposite of calm. It can signify danger, or it can signify anger even, or intensity. And so for you, it's about leaning into a particular shade of red. It doesn't need to be a bright Ferrari red that glows in the dark. It can be a pale, softer red. It can be like a darker, almost burgundy red. So, but it's the frequency that the energy of this color emits that can help support the base chakra and can help to support that feeling of safety in the world and to nurture that energy of safety, that quality of safety. But it's something that will take time. So just to recap, the light code frequencies of red are very different to the previous ones that we've mentioned. It's grounding, it's steady, it's something that doesn't need to be amplified necessarily. When it comes to the red light code, more is not better necessarily. Bright is not better necessarily. So again, it's about leaning into your own intuition around this as well. It's something that, again, for children, for all of us as children, that red frequency is definitely there. It's definitely present already in our energy field. But with the red frequency, it's more something that you can use to support your child, to help them to feel safe, to help them to feel grounded here on the earth, to help them to land here on the earth, to help them to literally feel that ground under their feet, to feel a sense of safety in their environment with the people that they interact with, in their room, which for many children can be a scary place, especially when it comes time to sleep in their own room, whenever that may be. And even as I'm saying this, another way you can support them is through the color black as well. So black is another color that's also associated with the base chakra. It's not a light frequency, but it is a color that can support children, especially in the around crystals. Like black colored crystals can be really, really helpful for today's children. Not saying you need to paint their room black or dress them in black or anything like that. That would probably be a bit too heavy, a bit too dense. I'm not saying that. But black crystals in particular are very grounding. And today's children need a lot more grounding than previous generations. This can also help with their sense of safety. But most children, particularly because they are coming into the world with many spiritual gifts and a crown chakra that is unusually wide compared to previous generations, they do benefit from a lot more grounding to support that sense of safety, that it's okay to be in the world, it's okay to be here, it's okay to be in a body. I'm safe here, I'm safe here, I'm safe here. And so black crystals can really, really help with that. So as I bring this transmission to an end, what I feel to share finally about the red light code and its activation is it's an energy to sit in. It's an energy to be around. It's an energy, as I said, that's steady and grounded. It doesn't need to be sent anywhere. It doesn't need to be projected anywhere. It's an energy to surround yourself with and also your child with in appropriate ways. Too much, as I said earlier, too much of a good thing can be too intense, and more is not necessarily better. So experiment with that. How can you bring a little more red into your life? Into the clothing that you wear, into the environment that you live in, even the foods that you eat can be very grounding. And this is a message also for the parents to amp up your own level of groundedness in the world, amp up your own level of safety and trust in the world through grounding practices, through working with the red light activation codes and light codes, and working with the crystals as well and the earth herself. Even beyond the red light code activations, the energy of Mother Nature, of the earth herself, is much, much more potent even than red light. So keeping that in mind as well. Okay, so I'm feeling to bring this transmission to a close now. So I hope that you resonated with what we talked about today. If you have any questions, please leave them below. I love to hear what's brewing and what's churning as you listen to these episodes. And also feel free to tune into it again at a later time if this maybe didn't land for you today or didn't make sense. This work is very multidimensional in nature, and so the energy is timeless, and it can mean different things or land in different ways at different times. So honor that, understand that, acknowledge that if that's what you feel you need. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a rating if you're listening on a podcast platform. And yeah, it's really important to me to bring through this wisdom. I feel like it's finally time. I've been hiding it behind closed doors and private sessions for a lot of this time, but it feels like the time now is to finally bring it out into the light, into the public, for all, not only babies and children to benefit from, but also the parents who've been chosen to receive them in this lifetime. So take good care of yourself. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.